What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here, and welcome into another video. We're going to be hopping into the Retro Cup with a team that I made was so good for the first start of the Retro Cup here. Charjabug is an absolute beast for this cup, using also Dunsparce and Shadow for Alligator as the sweeper here. So let's hop into these battles here, and I gained quite a bit of ELO, going all positive in the 3 sets that I had left. So terrible lead here. I'm going to hop into my Dunsparce right away, and I'm going to throw the drill run just to get a little bit of damage, and that looked like a CMP tie, even though I did get the 1-turn swap, which that should not have been a CMP tie. So unfortunately for my opponent, it seems like they lagged out a turn. Quite unfortunate, but then they hop into an Araquanid. And it doesn't seem like they have a very good answer to Dunsparce here. So I'm going to start throwing these rock slides here. Hopefully I can get to a second one before they get to that bug buzz. And that looked like a cap tie as well. So rock slide, not going to be enough to KO, but it's going to be enough to put it into a range where now I can come in with the Chargerbug here. I can go for the full farm down, come out with some loaded energy. We even get 3 Volt Switches off, which is completely massive. We have enough to go for this X-Scissor against this Gastrodon, putting them into Shadow Claw down range, and now out comes a Golisopod. Golisopod is going to be hit by a Hydro Cannon here. Hydro Cannon going to do some nice damage, even though it is resisted. Golisopod does not have the bulk it does in the Ultra move. So, going to shield up this X-Scissor, and I should just be able to grab a shield here with the next Hydro Cannon. Not going to be enough to farm down here, as I would reach the next X-Scissor by the time I tried to farm down. So, gonna let this move now go through. I put them into a range where 1 Volt Switch should just be enough to knock out, and they come back in with the Gastrodon. Can I get the resisted Volt Switch farm down? I think I can. Gonna shield out the potential Earth Power, but it's just a Body Slam. 1 Volt Switch knocks out the Golisopod, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent. Very nice team by my opponent there. A little weird, but hopping to the next matchup. Beautiful lead here, Primeape in a Chargerbug. Now, Primeape is going to severely outpace us, but the good thing is that we are resisting those Karate Chops, and we can no-shield the first Rage Fist. So I'm going to bait here with the X-Scissor. Bug is going to be resisted by fighting, so you definitely don't want to get caught throwing a resisted move, because that's not going to KO the Primeape. Primeape is so glassy, though. A lot of them are going to shield, and I'm going to throw the X-Scissor now, getting it into the Clodsire. So, great catch by my opponent, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to come in here with my Feraligatr now. Great matchup for the Feraligatr. We'll no-shield the Stone Edge. They didn't farm up to the Earthquake, so now I have the back-to-back Hydro Cannon. So the first Hydro Cannon should just be enough to knock out the Clodsire. Left, right, good night, and now we have a Hydro Cannon locked and loaded for when that Primeape wants to come back in. Grabbing that final shield from my opponent, and they reset their debuff here. So again, now this Rage Fist is not going to be enough to KO. I can even no-shield this move, and I just have to make sure that they're not going to catch on the next Pokemon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shield up this move, because I don't want to take these double boosted Karate Chops on my Dunsparce. We almost get the full farm down, but then they decide to hop into a Feraligatr. Feraligatr is going to get hit with the discharge, massive damage onto that Feraligatr, and from here we just come in with the Dunsparce. We can eat a Hydro Cannon, no problem. Go for the full farm down. Even a second Hydro Cannon would not be enough to KO from that health range, and would have a drill run locked and loaded for that Primeape when it wants to come back in. So GG's, well played to my opponent. Superior lead here. Pretty good lead for Charjabug. We're going to be resisting the Vine Whips. Frenzy Plant's going to be resisted as well, but they decide to catch onto a Dewgong. So quite fine by me. I'm just going to farm just up a little bit more, back up to the X-Scissor and some, and then come in here with my Dunsparce. Now the whole point here was to get energy back, come in with the Dunsparce, overfarm quite significantly here. I am going to be double debuffed here, but the unfortunate thing is when that Superior comes back in, we're going to be doing absolutely no damage, but we do keep switch advantage, which is key, keeping the Feraligatr off of that Superior, and we give them very little health here to get the farm out with, but they will have enough for a couple Frenzy Plants, although Frenzy Plant is resisted due to our bug typing. It is going to hit quite hard because Frenzy Plant is a busted move. So Rock Slide coming in, definitely want to be throwing Rock Slide, not the Drill Run, but I just want to see the difference in the damage between Rock Slide and Drill Run. So gonna get the X-Scissor off here. Gonna throw right away, just because I maybe wanted to CMP tie them, or I didn't want to get caught throwing a Volt Switch and then throwing the X-Scissor and then catching the move. So gonna shield up the next move. They look like they're quite weak in the back here. I'm gonna wait a turn after a bunch of lag comes in. Quite the unfortunate part. And if they shield this, I know they are super weak here. I'm 1 Volt Switch away from my next X-Scissor. I'm gonna shield this move up. They're probably gonna catch here, which they do, unfortunately, on the Feraligatr. But you know what? X-Scissor does massive damage, and from this health range, I should just be enough to farm them all the way down without getting hit with double Hydro, and I should have an Ice Beam locked and loaded, ready to go for that Superior. My opponent knows the game is over, and that's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent here. So hopping into the next matchup, Charjabug into Dunsparce. This is an awful lead here. I'm going to hop into my own Dunsparce here. First of all, negating the energy that they're going to be getting, and they're not swapping out. So, which probably means that they are weak to my Dunsparce in the back. So, gonna no shield the first move here. Charjabug definitely not gonna be enough to KO, and they hop into a Feraligatr. Gonna throw 3 rollouts, and then the move for proper move timing. Charjabug is gonna put them into a decent health range, and I'm hoping I can kind of stall out the switch clock timer just enough. But they get to the Hydro Cannon. But again, this is not enough to KO. We double resist those Shadow Claws. We come back in with the Charjabug, and now we should leave with some energy loaded for when that Dunsparce wants to come back in. So we're 1 Volt Switch away from the next X-Scissor. So I throw 2 for proper move timing here. Then throw the X-Scissor. X-Scissor is going to put this thing pretty deep into the red, and we actually get to another one, but they catch on the Drifloon. Great catch by my opponent, not going for the proper move timing, but it is what it is. Now we can come in with the Feraligatr. Feraligatr can shield up all these moves here. We probably can get the Shadow Claw farm down, but what I'm going to do is, yeah, I should have went for the Shadow Claw farm down. Left with double Hydro Cannon. That would have been the winning play. Giving up both of my shields, left with the Shadow Claw, or left with double Hydro Cannon, and then triple combo played with my own Dunsparce. Because now this Dunsparce does have some energy, and I'm not going to be able to make it to another Hydro Cannon. Even if I did catch there, they would have been able to roll me out before I got to their farm down or get to another move. So very well played by my opponent, and they're going to take that one. On to the next set here. Charjabug into a Oranguru. This is actually a really good lead. X-Scissor is going to be doing super effective damage. They hop into their own Dunsparce here. I make a very big mistake, and I go for the Discharge, and then I hop into my own Dunsparce. What I was thinking in this moment is I want to get some damage off so I win the mirror matchup. But what that does is that gives that Oranguru an energy advantage over my Charjabug going back into that matchup. So a little bit unfortunate for me, and I technically didn't need to win switch, as Feraligatr does okay into Oranguru, even though Shadow Claws are double resisted. Hydro Cannons are going to hit really hard, and we do outpace. So Charjabug going to be enough to knock out, and now out comes a Gastrodon. I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here. I can't really swap into my Feraligatr, as then that leaves a Gastrodon onto my Charjabug. So I elected to stay in. I give this Gastrodon way too much energy, and that is going to be the downfall. So we're going to get to this Hydro Cannon. It's going to grab the shield, and they're going to get to another Body Slam. I'm forced to shield this move up. They're probably going to come back in with the Oranguru right now. Nope. Okay. They actually get both of my shields, which is quite unfortunate. And I can't throw my Hydro Cannon here at the Oranguru. If I throw my Hydro Cannon, it just gets no-shielded, and my X-Scissor going to get shielded, and I think they're at the back-to-back. If they are not at the back-to-back, I think we might be able to win this game here, but they're at the back-to-back, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Brutal Swing is going to be enough to KO. Hydro Cannon, not enough to KO from this health range. Oranguru is kind of thick, so they're going to be able to confuse me all the way down. Very well played to my opponent there, and we're going to be hopping into the next match here. Beautifully here, Charjabug into Feraligatr. Feraligatr does quite well into Charjabug, actually, being able to outpace to those Hydro Cannons, and by the time you get to the third Hydro Cannon, you should have done enough Shadow Claw damage to almost knock out the Charjabug. So, but my opponent decides to hop into their own Charjabug. I'm going to stay in here, throw a couple Volt Switches, and then go into my Dunsparce. Dunsparce is going to cleanly win this matchup. X-Scissor should just be enough to KO, but I don't need switch advantage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my own Charjabug, get even more of an energy advantage, and then they hop into an Ariados. I make the mistake of throwing X-Scissor here. Definitely want to be throwing Discharge, but we do grab the shield, which my opponent kind of bailed me out of that bad situation here, and then I'm going to go for the Discharge. Discharge is going to do more damage. X-Scissor resisted. Definitely don't want to go for that. Get a no-shield to move. All moves are going to be resisted, and I know my win con from here is just going to let Feraligatr have both shields. So I'm just tempted now to grab all shields or get this thing low enough to where I can come in and Shadow Claw farm it all the way down. Let the lunge go, come in with my Feraligatr. With the 2-to-1 shield advantage, we should just be able to take this game very, very cleanly. Hydro Cannon, not enough to one-shot, but as long as we grab the shield, farm up to 2 more Hydro Cannons, we should be good to go. Because with double shield advantage, Shadow Claws, plus all this Hydro Cannon, I like to undercharge this just so I can get a little more Shadow Claw damage off, because I kind of forgot how much health Ariados had. So I'm forced to give up my second shield, and if the Ariados was close to a move, that could have been curtains for me. So what I could The smarter play would have just been to completely take out the Feraligatr, keep your shield up, and win that game cleanly, but it is what it is. So Drifloon lead, beautiful lead for us. They hop into a Diggersby, I hop into my Feraligatr. This is not the cleanest matchup there is because Shadow Claw again is double resisted, and Diggersby is so bulky that you're going to be able to live one Hydro Cannon, and we, after all these quick attacks, are not going to live the Scorching Sands as well, and they do get the attack fall. Quite unfortunate for me. Gonna throw the second Hydro Cannon here. This is gonna get no shielded. That does a lot of damage, and I'm forced to give up my second shield here. So Scorching Sands comes in. If my opponent wants to switch out, that would be absolutely fantastic, which they do. For some odd reason, they had a shield up. They could have just stayed in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna farm back up to the Hydro Cannon, come in with a Dunsparce. Dunsparce is gonna be walling most of this. Go for the shadow, bad manners, Shadow Ball. Definitely want to be going for the Icy Wind in that situation. Shadow Ball is double resisted, but in comes the Primeape. See, if they went for the Icy Wind, these drill runs would not be as effective, even though we had all this energy here. And I think the smarter play for me would be to stay in, but they decide to hop out into their Diggersby, which is completely fine with me. I'm going to hop back into my Charjabug here, go for the resisted Volt Switch farm down. After they Hyper Beam us, oh my gosh. We're at the back-to-back moves here. This X-Scissor is going to take out the Diggersby, and we have a second one to potentially take out the Primeape. But again, this is a resisted damage. Not enough to KO. Oh my gosh, they're trying to farm up to more energy. Probably to get the farm down and have back-to-back moves, but they didn't get there. GG's, very well played. A lot of mistakes by me, but it is what it is. Medicham, Blast from the Past. You love to see this Pokemon on the lead with the Chargerbug. Gonna throw 3, and then the X-Scissor. They catch it on a Marowak. Quite fine by me. So as long as we get that, as long as you get a little bit of a health advantage versus this Marowak, you should be able to win the 2s. So Hydro Cannon going to be coming in. This is definitely going to knock out, so we're probably going to see a shield come up, which we do. Making sure to throw on proper move timing, which is 1, 4, or 7, and 2 into a 3-turn fast move. Going to shield up the Bone Club, and then from here we get the full farm down, which is beautiful. Now I have double Hydro Cannon locked and loaded, and I know that Psycho Cut's not going to knock me out, so I'm going to throw the Hydro Cannon, hop back into my Chargerbug here. Catching the Ice Punch. Yeah, we catch the Ice Punch here. Beautiful catch. And they have a Cresselia in the back. Charjabug completely core breaking this team other than that Marowak. And then from here, we should just be able to live a Moonblast and get to 2 more X-Scissors. 1 to grab the shield, 1 to take out the Cresselia here. And from there, that's going to be curtains. All I have to do is let my Charjabug go down. We can grab the shield from this Medicham with the X-Scissor, and I have the Hydro Cannon locked and loaded on the Feraligatr, and we don't even have to show the Dunsparce to my opponent. My opponent's going to throw energy here. That's quite fine by me. Ice Punch knocks out the Charjabug, coming with the Feraligatr, win any CMP tie against that team, and we win, obviously. GG's, well played to my opponent there. So this team is absolutely going on a rampage here. I'm getting very close to that 2900 range, so hopefully soon. Another great lead. Charjabug is just winning all these leads. Gonna go throw the X-Scissor. X-Scissor is gonna do some nice damage onto this Cresselia. Gonna no-shield the first move. Moonblast, not gonna be able to KO. Charjabug is kind of thick. Gotta throw 2 more Volt Switches and then the X-Scissor here. If they want to shield this, I'm completely fine with giving up a shield, but they end up no-shielding it, so we're gonna come in with the Feraligatr, completely snipe them down, and let's see what they want to bring in. They bring in a Jumpluff, and I'm gonna bait here with the Hydro Cannon. And the opponent no shields it like a savage. Oh my gosh. I end up shielding up the energy ball. I build back up to the Ice Beam again. Gonna throw another bait. You got balls. Whoever I play against, you have the biggest balls I've ever seen. They're gonna catch here, try to catch the Hydro Cannon on the Feraligatr. I'm gonna pivot into my Dunsparce. Maybe I should have thrown the Hydro Cannon, potentially grabbing the shield, but we're able to eat that Hydro Cannon pretty well. Non-Shadow Feraligatr, we should be able to live 2 Hydro Cannons plus a Shadow Claws, get this Drill Run off. We have some energy loaded there on my Feraligatr, and then we also have the Charjabug left alive. So hopefully we can get both of our Hydro Cannons off, taking out this Feraligatr. They get to a move, hopefully expending all their energy. I should be very, very close to my next Hydro Cannons. I think that was a cap tie. I hope it wasn't a cap tie. First shield gotten. That is beautiful. Getting the second shield here with the Hydro Cannon. And we should just be able to Shadow Claw farm down that Jumpluff. That's going to be a good game. Well played, and another 4-1 set here to end the video. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you need a team for the Retro Cup, this is the team. It was a lot of fun, and gained a lot of ELO. I was just smacking teams. A lot of people top lefted, so I'm going to try and make legend hopefully in the next couple days. Cross your fingers. So thank you all so very much for watching. If y'all liking the content, please hit that like button, comment if you want to see anything in the future, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it really helps with the channel and it is greatly appreciated. And we will see everybody in the next video. Bye bye.